Well, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We are Easy Marketing. We're located in Northeast Florida, but we have many clients in cities throughout Florida and the US and as well as internationally. We specialize in site design and maintenance, also graphic design, email marketing, which we'll be talking about today, social media management. And we are also a certified constant contact partner. My name is Dixie. Our presenter today will be Katrine. She's celebrating 20 years. Good morning, Katrine, as the
Okay.
owner and founder of Easy Marketing. So she's got a wealth of knowledge. Our workshop today will be just 20 minutes, so we'll be speed talking. But stay to the end because if you do, you'll be entered to win a free consultation with us. So stick around for that, and we'll do a drawing immediately afterward. This is the last in a series where we have been talking about the different components of email marketing. So if you want to go back and see previous workshops that you might have missed, those are available on our YouTube channel. So we talked about, images and subject lines. So all of that content is available for a limited time. So please feel free and go back and see presentations that you might have missed. But we know your time is valuable, so let's dig in today talking about having a good email sender address. Take it away, Katrine.
Thank you. Thank you. And um, think about when you open up your inbox, either on your cell phone or on your computer with Outlook or whatever you're using. When you're scanning through those emails, what are you first looking at? Next time you do it, think about what are you looking at? And all the study says that the first and most important thing is who is the email from? Okay, because you know if that email is from your boss, but he's number 8 on your list of incoming email, that's the first one you're going to open up. And then you're going to open up the ones from your friend and your family. And then you're going to open up something else you're passionate about. The ones you're never going to open up are the ones that has no content from you, the sender, you don't know who they are, or their subject line is not of interest of you. Those are the ones that you're going to skip. And you only have seconds to decide. If people only use seconds or part of a second deciding what they're going to click and what they're going to throw away. And you as an organization or a company, you want to make sure that when they see your email that they open it up. Last webinar we had, we looked at the subject line to have a good subject line. And you can go back, just like Dixie said, you can go back and listen to that one. But today we're going to look at the sender. So who is the sender? Because you would think, okay, it's me, it's my organization, but it's really not that simple if you want to get it really right. You might have it set up right and then you're fine, but maybe you don't. So we're going to look at those in detail. So on a cell phone, the first row here is the who it's from. And you can see that on the phone here, most phones just have whatever name is in there. They don't list the full email address. Usually on at least my Outlook, I see the name and then the actual email address. And then comes the subject line and then the subheader, which we also talked about last week. This is when you send something up. So when we're talking about from, it has two parts. One is the name, whatever you say from, and you can actually set that up depending on for every single email, okay? And we're going to look at that in our demonstration in just a few minutes, but then you have the email address, okay? So in my case, this is the email that went out last week. And so if you signed up using that email, that's what you got. So you can see that I have Katrine Fredriksson - Easy Marketing. I could have said just Easy Marketing, but marketing sometimes has a little bit of a bad rap and people just say marketing and they delete it. But if I put it seems to be that if I put my name and the company, people kind of connect those two. So that's why I decided that. The second one is the reply email. And you can see in this one, we have set up Dixie's name. And depending on your organization, if you have a larger organization or your president or your chairman or whoever it is that you want to send it from, you want to send it from the president of the company, but he is not going to have time or don't need to handle the replies to the email, you can actually set that to be someone else. Okay, very useful, very useful. And we're going to go into detail to see how that is set up. And then, of course, you have the subject line and pre-header, and we're going to look at that again. So that's the reply one. And I'm actually going to see, I don't know if she is attending today. This is someone that attended a few weeks back. And I got one of her emails, and this is what came in right before Easter. So she has, as the sender, she has her company name, Coco Tutti Chocolates, and then she has the subject line, and then she has a really cute subject line in there. A really cute subheaders, which bite them bunnies' heads off, okay? Then we take a look at her email, and this is what it looks like. So she done the right thing. The only one thing that I would suggest is she repeated the subject line, her company name in the subject line before she added limited edition Easter treats, okay? And if we go back, oh, sorry, let me go back, hang on. There, if we go back, you know, the company, the sender always is in here, so that's kind of repetitive. So if you just set up the sender's name correctly, you don't need to repeat it in the subject line. So that would be up here, okay? All right. So then we're going to look at that from address. So best practices is to use your own domain name, not the Gmail address, not an AOL, not a Comcast, nothing. You should have your own domain name. I'm going to talk about what that is in just a second, because it's going to make you look much more professional, and it is going to help your sending reputation. So in our case, I use my email address, which is Katrine@easymarketing.com. I could also set one that says newsletter@easymarketing.com. It depends on what I'm sending out. The second part is especially important if you have an organization where people don't know the person that is sending. I see this all the time. The secretary or the front desk person get a company email, and that could be Anna. Anna Smith is sending something out, and no one knows who Anna Smith is. They maybe recognize the domain name, but they don't know who Anna Smith is. And then they, oh, that is the email from this organization, and they might need to pull that address into their safe sender list or put that as an email they want to see. And then next week, Anna leaves, and now you have Steve Anderson at company.com. And now he starts to send out emails. That is not a good way. You should set up an email address for either that position, or if it is a newsletter, something is neutral that each and every one of them can send. And it doesn't matter who they are, they can always go in and do that as the sender. And I'm going to show you in a minute. And
Katrine,
if you're not, yeah.
If somebody is using a Gmail or a Comcast email right now, what would it cost them to set up their own domain name?
So, so a domain name costs about $20 a year. So that is the domain name. But then in addition to that, you will need to get an email. So I have one more slide here, so I'm going to answer that question. Because first, what is a domain name? The domain name is what you have up to the left of your website. You don't even need to have a website, but that is your domain name. Okay, and if you own a domain name already, you can, with that company, also set up an email address. So for example, if you have your domain name registered with Bluehost, that's where you got your domain name, you can just reach out and say, I also want an email address. And most of them nowadays offer the professional email with Microsoft 365. And I think a simple email is $4.95 a month. Okay, so you know, if you're on a tight budget, oh, is that going to be $55 a year? Yeah, but it costs, you have to pay a little bit in order to look professional and to make sure that your emails are distributed. Remember, in the old days, how did you used to do to get your message out? The only way in the old days was to print flyers and put all over town, or go to the local newspaper and put it in an ad. That was the way, and it did cost you money. Just before, because so much on the internet is free. Yeah, it is free for private people, but it really doesn't work if someone is a company and organization. You really need to step it up here. And especially when you have a message, when you're promoting something, you just need to get this done. And I know it is complicated, because you set that up and then you say, how am I going to I get all my Gmail on my phone. How am I going to get that in? It is not that hard. And if you have no clue, you can contact us and we can help you set that up. But it is important. But when you send things out, another part you have to do is the email has to be verified. So you can't just put any email address. Constant Contact wants to know that the send email actually exists. So you need to do a verification of the email address. And I'm going to jump right into a demo and show you how that is done. Do we have any more? We have Corky asking questions, and Corky, you and I have been in contact, and I did see that I don't think you're using the same name as you have for your website, which is probably your next step. Okay, so we are going to jump in and do a demonstration here. What are we on time? Okay, we have 7 minutes, so that's good. Let me, hang on. All right, okay, let me think. This is, no, that's not it. Hang on, I need to know what screens we are on. So if you're wondering why I don't look at you anymore, it's because I have actually 3 screens, and I'm going to work on this screen because this is the screen you're looking at. So I'm going to Constant Contact and I'm logging in. And I simply took a copy of the email we created. Oh, that's not it. Okay, sorry. That was for a different organization. Okay, hang on. I just sent out an email to a couple of thousand people about a tennis tournament. So that's where it wanted to go. So let's get into my demo account. And in order to do this, I just took a copy of what we worked with a few weeks ago. So we're going to open this up. So actually, yeah, so this is where we set different things. So if you click on this, you can have the subject line and the pre-header. We talked about that later on. And then it's the from name, okay? Since this is my company, that's what happens to be in here. But we would probably say, if we were, what is it? What is the name? Jack's Jack's Yard Barbecue. Isn't that the name? Okay, so that's, you can see right away at the top what that is going to look like. Okay, I'm going to save that so I don't lose it. Okay, so now when it's sent out, it's going to say the sender is, and here's the subject line. And now it is a matter of who it's coming from. So since this is a test account, I only have 3 here. I have me, I have something called Flower Forever, and Dixie. Okay, but I'm going to have it sent out from me. But if this was real, it would be coming from Jack at jacksbarbecue.com. Okay. And then the reply email, it could either be myself, or I could say, okay, if anyone answers this, I want it to go to Dixie. And then we click that as save. So now the question is, these names here, the options I have for senders, how do they show up on this little email list? So we're going to take a look at that as well. And we are going to go in under my settings. Do you see that I'm in the upper right corner? I'm actually going to make this a little bit larger for you guys so you can see. Okay, so we're going to go in the upper right corner and we're going to click on my settings. It's asking if I want to leave because I didn't say what I was working on there, which is fine. All right, so here is the basic information about my test account, but this is where you want to go. Up to the left, verify address. Okay. And you're going to see the 3 verified, actually 4. One is the local expert constant contact. That's what we used to do. But let's say I want the email address info at easymarketing.com or whatever email you are using, offers, or when you set up, if you're going to set one that is not with a person, an email address, take something that doesn't have offer or special or something, because that might indicate it look like spam, and some filters might take that out right away. That's a full hour's lesson on to pick a good email address. But we do info, so we're clicking on send verification. And Dixie, I verified you yesterday. You remember what happened?
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I just got an email from them asking me to verify, and one click, and I was good to go.
Yeah. So you can see that this verification is pending right now. So therefore, if I will go back to my emails, I could not choose info as a sender until I seen an email coming in the box and said verify, because that's how Constant Contact know that that email address actually exists. So that's how simple that is. So I don't see any questions. This last part would verify the address, in the follow-up email that's coming this afternoon, I have step-by-step listed in there. So we are done with the demo. So what's happening next?
Thank you, Katrine. Well, this finishes up our series on email marketing. So with our next webinar in 2 weeks, we're going to be starting a new series on digital marketing trends for 2021. So we're going to start with how to stay in touch and top of mind. And we hope that you can join us.
Yeah.
So we are going to be doing the drawing, as we said, immediately after this. So you'll be getting an email from us later today where you can live see me drawing the winner. And also there'll be a replay of this presentation if you missed something, or if you want to look back live at the demo and see where was she clicking, and also a copy of the slide deck. So all of those are free resources that we're happy to provide for you. And also, just as a thank you for joining us today, there'll be a 30% off coupon for Constant Contact. And that was in the demo that Katrine did today. So this is a company we've been working with for over a decade. And we really recommend them for all of our nonprofit partners, small, medium-sized businesses. They're very user-friendly and really a leader in email marketing solutions. So if you'd like to give it a try, that coupon will be available to you. So thank you so much for joining us. You guys have been great. We love seeing you every couple weeks. And we hope to see you back in 2 weeks when we start that new series. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye, guys.